Tottenham 1-0 Man City Son, 77, Tottenham XI. Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose, Sissoko, Winks, Eriksen, Delph, Son, Kane. Manchester City's Ederson, Walker, Laporte, Otamendi, Delph, Fernandinho, Gundogan, David Silva, Mahrez, Sterling, Aguero. With Spurs talisman Harry Kane having hobbled off injured and favourite City beginning to turn the screw, Son sent the home fans inside the London club's majestic new stadium into delirium as he fired past Ederson in the 78th minute. Quadruple-chasing City, beaten at the same stage last year by Liverpool, were not at their slick best, and Sergio Aguero's first-half penalty miss proved costly. The Argentine's spot kick was superbly saved by Hugo Lloris after VAR adjudged defender Danny Rose to have handled. Tottenham showed great discipline to preserve their lead and will now go to the Etihad next Wednesday with their hopes of a first Champions League semi-final appearance intact. Sergio Aguero returns from injury, KDB and Sane on bench. Harry Kane leads the line for Tottenham. Harry Wink starts. Danny Rose penalised for handball. Hugo Lloris saves from Sergio AgueroHarry Kane hobbles off injured after clash with Delph. Opens the scoring with low drive under Ederson. Tottenham 1-0 Man City XI. Tottenham beat Manchester City. They've lost Harry Kane and Dele Alli to injury, but that diamond Son Heung-Min has come up trumps again to claim the win. Spurs have the edge going into the second leg, but that's going to one hell of a task at the Etihad Stadium. '96, last chance. Saloon Victor Wanyama fouls Leroy Sane on the left side of the field. Prime Kevin De Bruyne territory. The Belgian steps up, punched clear by Hugo Lloris and Fernandinho send the rebound over the crossbar. That should be enough for Spurs. 95, save. Hugo Lloris makes a brave stop to prevent Gabriel Jesus from connecting with a low Kevin De Bruyne cross. Toby Alderweireld gives his goalkeeper a pat on the head. 94, no sign of a City goal here. They look quite happy to keep this at 1-0 as Son has another effort saved by Ederson. '92, well, I bet Liverpool are loving this. Their cruise to victory against Porto unharmed, while their title rivals are losing and have a huge match to distract them next week. '96 minutes added time. Oh, we've got an idiot pitch invader, folks. Some fella has run onto the field and asked Fabian Delph to pass him the ball. Didn't look like there was any aggression, buttery unhelpful. 88, better late than never, I suppose. Riyad Mahrez leaves the field to be replaced by Leroy Sane. Kevin De Bruyne replaces David Silva. Heck knows why these two didn't start, but that's a question for Pep Guardiola to answer later. Not that I'm brave enough to ask it. 87, goodness me, Spurs look like winning this one, but there's been a significant cost. Harry Kane injured, and now Dele Alli has gone off with what looks like a wrist injury. Fernando Llorente on 85, City on the attack? Nope. It's actually Spurs who are looking for a second. Lucas Moura has been on a couple of solo runs forward to no avail. 83, how many times has Son stepped in to fill the enormous Harry Kane-shaped void? My shout for Player of the Year. No doubt. Son Heung-Min has now scored as many goals in 40 games in all competitions this season for Spurs as he managed in 53 appearances in the whole of 2017-18, 18 goals. Tottenham make a change with Victor Wanyama on for Harry Winks. Spurs fans in fine voice now as City search for a crucial equalizer. Tottenham 1-0 Man City Son 77, no Harry Kane, no problem as Tottenham break the deadlock against tournament favourites Manchester City. Son was down injured a few moments prior, but he's produced a moment of magic here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Son's perseverance pays off as he keeps the ball alive on the byline. Fabian Delph thinks it has gone out and stands with his arm in the air. Son continues before thrashing a shot goalwards which goes through Ederson. VAR check confirms ball didn't go out. "75, this is getting worrying for Spurs now. They look absolutely shattered. Worse than that, Son has just gone down in a heap and had to be helped to the sidelines." "74, Gabriel Jesus has his first opportunity when glancing Kyle Walker's cross over the crossbar. Replays show that Alderweireld got the final touch. Goal kick, much to City's dismay. "71, you just get the feeling that City will score soon. They are finding those pockets of space in and around the Tottenham penalty area." Just as I write that, Fabian Delph thwacks a horrendous effort 30 miles wide of the target. "68, chance. Dele Alli capitalizes on a sloppy pass from Otamendi and drives forward. He reaches the edge of the penalty area before firing into a crowd of bodies. 65, Gabriel Jesus getting ready to come on for Manchester City. In fact, here he comes now. Sergio Aguero heads off. 63, aside from that, Lucas Moura run Spurs haven't adjusted to Harry Kane's injury. Manchester City are growing in confidence and have seen more of the ball. Raheem Sterling has broken clear a couple of times, only to be caught by Alderweireld and Vertonghen. So Lucas Moura comes on for Harry Kane and is straight into the action. He glides past 1, 2, 3 challenges before Riyad Mahrez hacks him down. Booked. 58, Ederson is fine, but Harry Kane is not. Wow, this is a devastating blow for Tottenham as their talisman goes off. Kane went in for a challenge with Delph down the touchline and rolls his ankle when clattering into the City left-back. Harry knows he's done something and limps down the tunnel. We saw a camera view down the tunnel that showed Kane being carried by two members of staff. Could that be Kane done for the season? 55. Lengthy pause in play here as Ederson hits the deck. The City stopper flew through the air to catch a cross and has hurt his shoulder. "20-year-old Muric is doing his warm-ups." 54. Son has another pop. Pep Guardiola will be getting worried with how involved the South Korea international has been since the restart. Kane feeds Son, who drills low at Ederson. 51. Son decides to have a crack from distance. He gets an insane amount of whip on that one, but the left-footed effort bounces wide. "48. Close. Massive chance in the first 60 seconds of the second half. Sergio Aguero spots Raheem Sterling unmarked inside the box. A floated cross finds the winger, who brings it down and fires at Lloris. The Spurs stopper spilt the shot, but luckily Vertonghen was there to boot it into orbit. Tottenham 0-0 Man City 45, and we're back underway, folks. No changes for either side. The BT Sport crew noticed that there was a slight encroachment when Sergio Aguero took his penalty. By the letter of the law, it should have been retaken. That's another can of worms we can dissect later. Tottenham 0-0 Man City XI. I love when a game lives up to the hype. Breathless Champions League clash unfolding in London. A hard-fought competitive first half with Hugo Lloris the hero for saving Sergio Aguero's penalty. "45, 2 minutes of added time. Sergio Aguero sprints onto a ball on the right-hand side of the penalty area. He takes a touch before shanking the effort high and wide of the target. 42, more clashes here now. Raheem Sterling drags Son down when the Spurs star was attempting a quick 1-2. Big opportunity for Tottenham from the free kick, saved. Danny Rose went for goal, but Ederson makes a simple save. "40, fight. Harry Kane and Fernandinho are having a right ole Barney in the middle of the park. The pair clash in the air, and the City midfielder throws an elbow before pushing the back of his head to the floor. I'll never know how referee Bjorn Coopers turned a blind eye to that one. 36, Otamendi, a walking booking, body checks Harry Kane about 30 yards from goal. Christian Eriksen looks like he's going to have a crack, he doesn't. Instead he finds Kane, who slips it over to Son on the far side. The midfielder can't gather the wayward pass and the chance is gone. 33, Trippier breaks forward and sends a crossover for Harry Kane, who can't get more than a glancing header on it, and it runs away. 30. Otamendi's blush is spared by the linesman as the defender, completely unmarked, heads tamely down for Hugo Lloris to make a simple stop. Offside. 27. Aymeric Laporte is booked for a late challenge on the Spurs man. 24. What's the first thing they teach you in junior football? Play to the whistle. Manchester City think Otamendi has been penalised for a foul, but Spurs play on. Harry Kane collects the ball inside the box before swiveling and drawing Ederson into a good save. Obviously we'll be debating that penalty for the rest of time. Everyone seems to have a different opinion. The only people who think that was a penalty have never played football. Thinking that is an unnatural arm position is mental. VAR for clear and obvious errors, not super slow-mo mad interpretations, says Nick on Twitter. Don't shoot the messenger.but in this competition, that's a handball. Just like in the PSG game, the hand is outside the silhouette. And whether you like it or not, they will be given in the CL. Players and managers all know that, responds Jake. It's all gone rather quiet since that opening flurry of excitement. I expect it to change shortly. A up. We've got another penalty shout as Harry Kane goes down under a challenge from Kyle Walker. Nothing happened at all as referee Bjorn Coopers tells everyone to get on with things. Tottenham 0-0 Man City missed penalty. 11. He's given it. Pretty harsh if you ask me. It was belted from no distance at all. Anyway, Sergio Aguero steps up, saved. The Argentine has struck it at a nice height for the Spurs stopper, who parries it away to safety. Pep Guardiola stays seated with his head in his hands. Penalty to Manchester City 9, Kieran Trippier versus Raheem Sterling. It's been a rather one-sided matchup in these early stages with the City winger winning the battle. Again he cuts inside from the left before seeing a shot deflected wide. Wait, is there a handball? Referee Bjorn Coopers is checking VAR. He walks over to the screen, and we see replays of Danny Rose blocking the shot with his arm raised. 6. First chance of the evening falls to Dele Alli. Moussa Sissoko blazes down the left before fizzing a crossover that Dele lashes over on the volley. Would have been goal of the decade if he'd tucked it away. 3. A signal of intent? I should say so. Straight from kickoff Harry Kane has charged down Laporte's clearance and nearly collected a rebound. That's your warning City. Soon after, David Silva slams an angled effort into the side netting, but Hugh was just offside. Tottenham 0-0 Man City 1, booming atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Glittering theatre befitting of a Champions League match of this size. Still want a more catchy name though. Anyway, we're underweight. Community Shield, 1950. Pep Guardiola has shot down talk of the quadruple once and for all because he reckons Manchester City are actually chasing 5 trophies. I think Pep should have a conversation with Community Shield enthusiast Jose Mourinho about this. The Community Shield? Nobody counts it, that's the question. I would like an answer, he said. The Community Shield maybe counts for last season, but last season when we went on holiday it wasn't there. In Spain and Germany it's important. We have won 2 titles this season and have 3 to play, but everyone says 1. Why play if it doesn't count? We could have longer holidays. Where's Bernardo? 1940. Confirmation that Bernardo Silva is injured with a muscle problem left out tonight as a precaution. No prognosis as to severity of the injury. Bernardo and Leroy Sane out, Fabian Delph, Nicolas Otamendi and Riyad Mahrez starting. Pep's taking a gamble tonight, right? Twitter roundup. Harrison, fancy Spurs against that City side. Bernardo helps them unlock the top defenders, and without Sane and KDB, I see Spurs being able to pull it off tonight. Jack, I know, on paper, anyway, that Liverpool have the tougher route to the final, but I can't be the only one who thinks it will be a Liverpool v Man City final in the CL as well as an EPL 1-2. Hopefully LFC pip them to the post and league, so the final has even more bite. JP, Leroy Sane to be tonight's super sub with a goal. Still can't believe he was not included in Germany's 2018 WC squad. It's been a year, JP. Believe, quadruple? No chance. 1930. Quite a bold statement from Stuart Pearce, who believe his old side fear Tottenham and have no chance of winning the quadruple this season. Tell us what you really think, Stuart. It'll be a fantastic game, he told TalkSport. I think it's the worst possible draw for City at this stage in the competition. Asked if he thought his old side could win an historic 4 trophies this season, Pearce added, not a chance. The weight of games is just too much. I tipped Liverpool to win the league last summer and I still think they're going to do that. City's quadruple push 1925. Manchester City are the favourites for the Champions League, and with good reason given their sustained excellence in 4 competitions this season. Manager Pep Guardiola described the quadruple as almost impossible at the weekend, but it is actually far from inconceivable. The Champions League has been the one hurdle they have consistently failed to clear, however. Guardiola has often referred to a lack of experience on the European stage for that, although that may not be relevant in this round as they face a Premier League rival in Tottenham. The Big One 1915, Mauricio Pochettino has labelled his side's Champions League quarter-final first leg against Manchester City as the biggest of his managerial career. The Argentinian, who has overseen wins against Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund and draws against Juventus and Barcelona in this competition over the last 2 years, accepts that City are the better team. Asked if this was the biggest moment of his career, he replied, "Yes, as a coach." City have unbelievable players. It's going to be tough. We're playing in the quarterfinals and the big players, the big teams love to play this type of game. We need to be sure to match their motivation and desire. The thing we cannot match is talent inside the pitch. And then it's 11v11 players and we hope my team is going to be better than them. Stadium Tour 1905, BT's coverage of tonight's match is underway with Gary Lineker, Glenn Hoddle and Rio Ferdinand providing the punditry. I would tell you what they've said about the match, but we've spent the first 5 minutes watching Hoddle taking selfies next to pretty much everything. Team News 1900 hours, Sergio Aguero started for Manchester City in their Champions League quarter-final first leg at Tottenham, but Kevin De Bruyne was on the bench. Striker Aguero has been missing since the game at Fulham through injury, but was named in the starting XI, along with Riyad Mahrez. Mauricio Pochettino has picked what could be considered his full-strength side, with Harry Winks making his first start since the beginning of March following a groin injury. Suspension tightrope 1850. Oh, I do love these yellow card risks. Obviously Sergio Ramos made it headline news a month ago. Anyway, 5 players will have to be careful and could miss the second game if they receive a yellow card tonight. Heung-min Son, Toby Alderweireld and Eric Lamela are all one booking away from a suspension. City have 2 players at risk: Sergio Aguero and Nicolas Otamendi. The starting XI 1845 predict a Pep Guardiola lineup at your peril. The Spanish tactician has sprung a few surprises tonight, none more than the inclusion of Fabian Delph, Tottenham's XI, Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose, Sissoko, Winks, Eriksen, Delph, Son, Kane. Subs: Gazzaniga, Davies, Sanchez, Foyth, Wanyama, Lucas, Llorente. Manchester City's XI: Ederson, Walker, Laporte, Otamendi, Delph, Fernandinho, Gundogan, David Silva, Mahrez, Sterling, Aguero. Subs: Muric, Company, Stones, De Bruyne, Sane, Foden, Jesus. Twitter roundup: Adrian, wow, just wow, Aaron, could well come back to bite me in the arse, but I really fancy us to turn up tonight against Manchester City. Georgina, nervous Man City can take a tie away from you in a 20-minute blitz. I believe Adrian is referring to the new stadium. Well, I hope he is anyway. That damn stadium rift, 1840. You've probably heard about this tiff going on about Spurs' new stadium. Kevin De Bruyne showed no mercy when bluntly saying that the stadium will have absolutely no effect on Manchester City. "I don't care about the stadium," said the Belgian playmaker. But Sonny wasn't having it and hit back in the most polite fashion possible. "Naturally. Of course the atmosphere can help," he said. "Maybe the City players don't realize they always play at home." The schedule, 1835. Well, this is annoying. We've got 3 English sides playing on the same night, making it impossible to watch both. Here we'll be focusing on events in London, but I'll also keep you abreast of events over at Anfield as Liverpool try to keep their double hopes alive. Also got some championship action tonight, but I'm afraid you'll have to get your fix of that elsewhere. Evening, 18:30. Hello everyone and welcome to our live coverage of Tottenham vs Manchester City from that fancy new stadium everyone's been talking about. Apparently I'm the only reporter in the universe not to have been treated to a private tour, but I trust the 10 billion pictures I've seen online. Anyway, the first legs of the Champions League quarter-finals take place this week and we've got 4, that's right, 4 English sides involved. That's half. Bit greedy really, but I suppose we're guaranteed to lose one in this all-English tie. City's superiority is evident in the 16-point gap between the two sides from second to third in the Premier League, but a big domestic advantage counted for nothing when they faced Liverpool at the same stage last year. Plenty to discuss, so let's get started. Tottenham vs Man City team news. Tottenham will be without Eric Dyer, Eric Lamela and Sergio Aguero for the Champions League quarter-final first leg against Manchester City. Dyer, hip, Lamela and Aguero, both hamstring, all trained alone the day before the game as they continue their rehabilitation. Fernando Llorente is back in the squad after he missed out against Crystal Palace last week with concussion. Sergio Aguero has handed Manchester City a fitness boost. He's not played since he went off injured during the 2-0 victory against Fulham last month, but he is now back in training. Full-backs Kyle Walker and Benjamin Mendy should also be available. Provisional Tottenham squad: Lloris, Gazzaniga, Vorm, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Sanchez, Rose, Walker-Peters, Sissoko, Foyth, Lucas, Winks, Wanyama, Skip, Eriksen, Alli, Son, Kane, Llorente. Provisional Manchester City squad: Ederson, Muric, Walker, Danilo, Stones, Otamendi, Laporte, Kompany, Zinchenko, Mendy, Gundogan, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, De Silva, Foden, Sane, Sterling, Mahrez, Aguero, Jesus.